Welcome to the Experience Matters podcast with your host, Kent Clothier Sr., and your co-host, Kevin Homel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Experience Matters podcast. Hope everybody's having a great day. Joined today, as usual, by my co-host, Kevin Homel. Last podcast we did, Chris set in for Kevin for one time. Kevin, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks to Chris for filling in for me while I was out. I'm glad to be back.
Well, today got a couple of really good things to talk about, and talk specifically, Kevin, about the core four. I'll define that in a minute on what that means to everybody. I know you have some questions down there for us today. Hope our listeners will find all of this to be really good for them. And Kevin, let's just get into what the core four means and questions that you may have, and we'll jump into this topic today.
Yeah, sounds good. So we've been asking for questions from the listeners. The listeners have submitted a lot of questions, which led to us building this conversation. For those of you who've ever heard Kent speak from stage, you've heard him talk about everyone on the same level. I'll let him explain what the core four is, but the drive for our company and everybody here to treat others the way we would want to be treated, and we divide all of those people into four different groups. So take it from there.
Well, when I guess the last several years, to our team and our leadership and to people that listen to our message out there, I talk about the core four. And what I mean by that is the residents that rent our houses, the clients that buy our houses, the vendors that service our houses, and the staff and team that service all of the above. To me, that's our core four. And one of the things that I've always tried to do in talking to our leadership and talking to our team and talking to our clients and even to our vendors and even to our residents is want these four groups of people to have an unbelievable experience with us. And one of the things that I thrive to do is each one of these groups treat these people like we want to be treated. And every one of them make up a unique part of our company and their importance to the overall vision of where we're trying to go as a company. So as in any business that you own or you're running, if you're listening to this, there's a certain segment of your business, as you break it down, that if you can achieve certain goals and certain milestones in those areas, then you have a pretty good shot at being successful. And if you falter in any of the core areas in your company, then obviously you have to shape those up and plug those holes and work on building that part of your company up to be able to sustain success. So in our company, the four are residents, clients, vendors, and our staff and team. Kevin, you want to start it from there? Or?
Yeah, I'll give a little more backstory there. So, and on a couple of previous podcasts, we've talked about our clients, and that's where a lot of business owners will stop because that's the people buying the main product that we offer. But that product comes with a service that's provided by our sister company, Premier Property Management. If we do not take care of the people that rent the houses that we manage, then there will be no clients to buy those houses because nobody buys income-producing real estate that doesn't produce income. So we have to make sure we take care of every need that the residents have, the main quality of life things, and then we have to go above and beyond and be better really than anybody else because we put out a product that is going to be the superior product for them. So with that said, Ken, I'll ask the first question then would be aimed at how do we as a company, what was your vision on how to serve our residents and just be better at everybody else that does this?
Well, the very first thing, and I've said this since the day we've been in business, in the real estate business, property management, but the most important job in our company is renting houses. That is the single most important job because without happy, satisfied, qualified residents in our properties, then the ability to sell the property to existing investors is not sustainable. And so I've started first talking about renting houses and how we're going to rent more houses quicker with satisfied residents. So we go through a process with our residents to make them happy. And yes, they have to go through a application process. They have to qualify for one of our houses. They have to be willing to sign a 2-year lease, probably with an increase on their lease in the second year. So we go through the process of qualifying the resident. We go through a process of sustaining them in our property for hopefully many, many years. We have hundreds and hundreds of residents in our 4,200 properties that have been in there 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to as many as 9 years that we've had residents in our properties. So we bring them through a process of qualifying. We bring them through a process of closing. We bring them through a process of following up with them after they close to see if the property is in the shape that they expected it to be when they moved in. Then whenever they have a maintenance call, we follow up with them to see that the maintenance call has been done and their particular situation has been handled. So we have a series of touches that we want to make sure that our residents are being treated the way we want to be treated. If they have a situation at the property, again, whether it's maintenance or otherwise, we are always on duty to handle that, take their requests, get back with them immediately in a timely manner, and also follow up after that call or that vendor has been out to their property to see that it's taken care of in a satisfactory manner. So we provide our resident at closing with a gift bag. We provide them with the opportunity to communicate with us. They know how to get a hold of us. They have their own online portal communication. So we try to make the resident experience, first and foremost, a great experience with us, that they'll come back and renew their lease and hopefully stay with us for many years to come.
Yeah, and it's one thing to say we want to do that, but I've watched you when we fall short with the resident and they have an issue that they bring to our attention, the amount of attention you put into resolving that quickly and completely. I think that's where a lot of business owners that might want to just get into business and try to do what we do, but that won't put the energy behind it and won't back it up with the action. I guess 2 weeks ago, we had a situation where we had a resident that was unhappy, and it was all hands on deck to get that fixed because that was what you expected. So there's above and beyond even saying it's important, but actually setting up how you operate, showing that it's important when there is a situation.
And Kevin, again, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. When you manage 4,200 houses, we're going to try every day to make every resident happy, and that's the ultimate goal. But when we have a situation, and my immediate reaction is to not send out a rehab guy or a middle management person. I'm sending out two people or three people from our executive team to go to the house to resolve the issue. And then they can take it from there with our other leaders as far as where the action got dropped. But it's very, very important to me to make sure that our residents are having a great experience. And as soon as we sniff out something that's not right, then I'm going to throw a lot of heavyweight people at it to go solve the problem and make that resident happy immediately, no matter what we have to do.
Yeah, and a lot of businesses, especially in the age where the younger generation is coming through the workforce, everyone likes electronic communication. We've automated and made a lot of our processes more user-friendly for the residents. But one thing we haven't sacrificed is that follow-up physical phone call, touch, to make sure that we have made them happy. And the good news is, even though perfection is our goal every time, when you manage 4,200 houses, your average length of stay is over 4 years, then we are doing something right there, and the resident staying that long in the house tells us. But again, every day it's every single day it's perfection.
We just want them all to be happy. We want them all to be happy and stay with us. And when we lose a resident, which we do every month, we have a certain percentage of them move out. We look at that and see what could we have done better.
So then that leads right into the vendors, because a lot of the follow-up with the residents is when a vendor went to their house to do work, we had maintenance situation. Did they do a good job? Did they walk in? Were they respectful in the houses? So there's expectation from our vendors to be participating with us in how we treat residents, but we also do some things for vendors that I doubt a lot of companies do. So the second question would be, how have we set our operation to serve our vendors well so they feel like they're a valuable part of the team?
Well, we have vendors, and again, in all the cities that we're in, we have today combined in the 5 cities literally hundreds and hundreds of vendors that participate on maintenance in our houses and renovating our houses and doing all the things that we have to do to make sure all the quality of life issues in our property are up to our expectations every single day. And with that, it takes a great group of vendors. In all of the cities, specifically Memphis and Dallas, those 2 cities, we have vendors that have been with us for years and years and years. And again, we try to treat our vendors in a way that they feel appreciated. They feel like we're taking care of them. They feel like they're getting paid, in which they are. They get paid quickly when they complete the job and they go through all the processes that we have. So we want to make sure that they are happy. Just recently, in the last 45 days, I've had the young lady that's an assistant for me call 20 of our vendors for me and just see how we're doing the first 4 or 5 months of this year. Are they getting paid on time? Is the communication good? Or is the billing and all the systems that we have them go through to the job process with us is working fine? And do any of them need to come in and sit down with me or our executive team? Because our doors is always open to making sure that the vendors have a great experience with us and they're getting work on a consistent basis, and we are grading them and we're looking at their performance and we're evaluating how long it takes to do jobs and how dependable they are and what the expectations are. So overall, we have a great group of vendors. And then once a year in Memphis and Dallas, we have a vendor lunch where we bring them in out in the fall, and we have a big cookout for them, and we pass out T-shirts and hats and a lot of group pictures, and they're always in our culture book. And again, we treat vendors like we want to be treated because they are a big part of the process of what we do in all of our cities. So our vendor team is very valuable, and they're a big part of the core four. And we have some great vendors, and we're always looking for more, but we just have to make sure that their importance in this thing is right at the top along with the other 3.
Yeah, and then there's a whole nother side of our vendors with the financial relationships that we have, the people that are actually closing the transactions for our investors when they buy. There's attorneys involved, there's lenders involved, there's insurance companies involved, and those people get the same treatment as well. We hold them accountable to the process for communicating well with our clients, but we also do a lot of things for them. You know, in Dallas in October last year, we had the vendor appreciation night for our title companies and wholesalers and things like that, where we make sure they have the opportunity to get in front of us and we show that we appreciate those relationships.
And that's good. And thanks for cleaning that up for me, because sometimes I get lost in thinking vendors just people at rehab and maintenance, but you're exactly right. Our closing attorneys, our lenders, all the people that do the work behind the scenes for us and handle all those processes. They're part of our team, and they're invaluable, all of them.
So, and then the final part of that, and I think a lot of business leaders around the country will say your most important asset is your people. Our team, our staff that's here with Memphis Invest and the family of companies, almost 80 people now. I can't tell you how many times I've heard Kent Sr. say, for those of you out there listening, that our most important asset is our people and how we treat them. A lot of entrepreneurial companies have started up, and everybody's just a grinding, work hard, and sometimes the service of people gets lost in the shuffle there. Kent, what are some of the things that you've done to show your appreciation for the staff that's here, that an entrepreneur listening would maybe learn something from?
Well, I always tell people that our company we're not an easy company to work for, because we are going to challenge you. We are going to stretch you. We're going to inspire you, And I've talked recently a lot about not motivating people, because I don't want to hire anybody that has to be motivated. I want to hire people that want to be inspired. Do we have some turnover? Yeah, every year we lose a few people, but we've had people that have been with us 6, 8, 10, 12 years now, been with our company a long time. And those people are the core and the foundation of all of the staff and team that works for us. And Kevin, you're exactly right. They are our important asset, and we put most of them through a training program. They go through an orientation before they even get hired on what it's going to take to work for us. They go through a different groups of people that are going to talk to them and set the expectations and talk to them about not being average, because average people can't work in our company. We have to have the above average people that want to be the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s that come in to work for us, and we're looking for those type of folks. So that's why it makes it a little difficult for some people to get in, because we're looking for people that bring a lot of enthusiasm, high energy, very dependable, work well with others, going to make other people around you better, going to be on time and dependable, and just go the extra when they come in here. And that's the kind of people that we're looking for. And that's the kind of people that the people that work for us like to work with, because we don't want to hire somebody that you're going to have to babysit all the time and do their job, and they're not going to be here because they got all kinds of other stuff going on. So we're looking for this special person to come in here, and we have about 80, as Kevin said right now, those type of people that do a great job for us. And they're very unique group of people. Like anybody else, all of us have room for improvement. We do periodic reviews with them to evaluate their performance in areas that they can get better in and areas that they do good in. And we try to inspire them. We try to talk to them about our vision, about where we're going, what the company, what the opportunity in the future is for them. And then it's just really up to them to go out there and do it. When they lack in some areas, which happens, we're going to point out those areas. We're going to probably expect them to get better, maybe a little critical of their performance at times, but in the end, we're going to show them how they can get better and how we're going to lead them to go to get better in that particular job or area or capacity that they're working in, so that they have opportunity down the road, and show them how that they can move on up in our company to a bigger and better opportunity.
Yeah, people who are going to perform well in a company like ours, one of the things that we do really well is they always know where they stand with us, and they always know what opportunity lies ahead of them if they come in and just take the reins and go. We're seeing, especially a lot of these younger people we've hired, we're seeing a lot of them really be hungry, and we don't want to hold them back. We want to have opportunity for them to grow as well. So double-digit growth for several years running now in our company provides opportunity, and it's neat to see people step up every day. And the environment that we provide for them, the feedback, the evaluations, the training, but also I don't know how many times I've heard you say I don't care when you work or when you're here, how many hours you work, just get your job done, go do the nails, do the donuts with Dad, all the things that we have to do. And and then you back that up with allowing that to happen. So that's a big piece of the environment as well.
And we tell people that, again, I want their schedule to be a flex schedule. I want there to be balance between home and work. And again, if you need to go do something, go do it. If you need to stay later to finish your job, do it. If you need to come in earlier, if you need to take off a half day, if you have kids and stuff, the schedule here is very flexible. And all we expect you to do is get your job done at a very high level. And the rest of it is kind of hopefully the balance is there. We want there to be balance there. And we realize that this job is not the most important thing. And that's the kind of people that we want to attract, that want to work in that kind of environment. But along with that comes a high level of expectation and accountability. And if you want to have the flex schedule, which is no problem, then you're going to have to meet the expectations and be accountable. Go do what you need to do. We don't have any problem with it. Just get the job done and everybody's happy. And we got 80 people that do that very well.
So I'm going to bring all that together because that's the question and answer session. But if you were listening and you heard that, obviously in a few podcasts before this, we've talked about serving our clients. One of your visions of how we can be different than anybody else was to create the customer service department where we were calling them. We were talking to them once a month, solving issues that they might have, answering questions, being proactive. We talked about the residents. When there is an issue after they close, even if there's no issues, even if it was perfect, we're still calling them to follow up and say, hey, was everything great? You're in your new home. How did we do? When there is a maintenance situation, we're calling to follow up after the vendor's done the work to make sure they're happy, they're satisfied with the work. We have the staff who you just said we bring in, we'll sit down and tell them where they stand. We'll learn from them. We listen a lot. We ask a lot of questions, but we also let them know where they need to improve. The theme in all of that for the business owner out there listening is you still have to talk to people. You see a lot of the business world going more towards automation and all that, and that's positive, but you can't forget about communication in the process. That's probably where every business could improve their processes, and that's a common element in all four of those. How do we serve those four groups of people well as we listen to them, we talk to them, and we keep them at the center of what we try to do. So,
well, the last one of the core four is the client. And so we've talked about the residents, we talked about the vendor, we talked about our staff and team. So the client, obviously the one that in the end that purchases the property, and it's all about the experience that they have with our company. As Kevin said, we have 5 people in our customer service department today that will call every client every month, proactively seeing how we're doing, how we can make their experience better. Do you need anything? Is our staff talking to you? Are you interested in another property? How can we help you? How can we serve you? It's all about making that experience with that client better than anything they've ever experienced. Hopefully they never have to call us, because we want to make sure that we're proactive with every single client. And I'm not sure how many businesses do that today, probably not a whole lot, but that's been the thing that's triggered a lot of our growth, is that personal relationship that we have with so many customers. And when you give them an experience like that, they're going to, one, do more business with you. They're going to tell other people. They're going to talk about things that you do that nobody else does, because most businesses don't do that. And we have a customer service department that's all about improving the client experience. And then when you have 5 or more properties with us, you go into the WOW group, which is a whole different experience with your own concierge and a lot of different things that we do for people that own 5 or more properties with us, which today is almost 200 investors that own 5 or more properties are in our WOW group. So that's the core 4, Kevin. Again, the residents, the clients, the vendors, and our staff and team. And I talked to our executives and our leadership about it, that if we can make the core 4 happy every single day, that our business will be successful. And if young business owners or entrepreneurs or established business owners out there that happen to listen to this, it's not real hard. That if you just work on treating people the way you want to be treated in all levels and all areas of your business, then I think that's a formula for success, and it's proven to be pretty successful for us here. So, Kevin, anything else today on this?
I think that's a great wrap up. Yeah, just the business owner that's out there listening, these 4 things, if you focus on these areas, these areas really exist in any business, just to find what yours are and make sure you're treating those people well and showing them value.
So we'll wrap this up today, and that was Kevin, that's a lot of good content right there for people if they'll just listen to that. But more important, if they'll go out and practice it. So hopefully everybody enjoyed this today, and we'll jump off here. And thank you to all of our listeners. Again, you can visit us at memphisinvest.com, and you guys have a great day. Thanks again.
Thank you for joining us on Experience Matters. You can listen and subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Be sure to visit us at memphisinvest.com.